right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to English 2 CP. I am Mr. Munoz.
And I am Miss Barone, the in-class support teacher.
Just
Go ahead.
a little background information about us first. I've been teaching in the district for 6 years. This is my 4th year teaching English 2 CP, and I think it's our 3rd year or 4th year doing it together.
Yes.
So we are very experienced in this class, and we look forward to teaching it in person this year. It's very exciting.
Yes. And I am pleased to be joining Mr. Munoz with this class as well, as we have done in the past. We work really well together, can pretty much read each other's minds, which is great. Mr. Munoz is the content area specialist, and I am the in-class support teacher. What I do is I provide support for all the teachers, all the students, any way they need it. I help them with, when we're writing essays. It's great to have 2 teachers in the room because we could circulate and pretty much get to everyone within a class period, which is really a great advantage. You're getting 2 for the price of 1. And I also provide support to the students that have 504s or IEPs. I help to modify things or provide graphic organizers to aid in the acquisition of the content. So you could contact either one of us at any point. Mr. Munoz?
We have a fun year split into 2 major genres. At the beginning of the year, we start with the dystopian literary genre, and then at the end of the year, we work with the coming-of-age genre. And this is a nice way that we can analyze novels specifically to what that text is trying to tell us, but we can also zoom out a little bit and figure out how it fits within the grander tradition of the genre. We begin looking at the dystopian genre through some shorts. Right now, we're talking about Test, and we'll be moving into Harrison Bergeron soon. We get to watch an episode of The Twilight Zone, which is always fun, and number 12 looks just like you. And we talk about how these stories are in communication with each other, demonstrating the same characteristics across a genre before we move into our full text, our novels of the beginning of the year. We start with The Memory Police, which is a novel we added to the curriculum just last year to add a different kind of voice, a more diverse voice to the year. This is a Japanese novel written in 1994 that was only translated into English 2019. So it's a recent translation. It's an excellent novel, and it's a dystopian novel that has a little bit more of a fantasy element to it than other dystopian novels. A lot of dystopias we think of as more sci-fi oriented, and this is still a dystopian text, but a little more fantasy oriented. So this catches a lot of students who might not be interested in the sci-fi part of it. And then we go into the classic 1984, a pillar of the dystopian genre. We get to read this text next. We get to understand it from a complete dystopian perspective. And we get to, this is a novel that comes up pretty often in the current zeitgeist. So it's nice to get to know it a little more intimately. And then we go into Macbeth, which I think is a ton of fun. I love teaching Shakespeare. I also teach the drama and the theater arts electives, so Shakespeare is right up my alley. A lot of students come into this class from freshman year thinking Romeo and Juliet is that's the only Shakespeare they're familiar with, and so that doesn't capture everybody's attention usually, but I think Macbeth is something that there's action, there's drama, there's action, it's intriguing, and it's also rather short, so it's nice to be able to work with Macbeth and capture some of the people who might not have been grabbed by Romeo and Juliet. But if you really, really hate reading Macbeth, we do break it up with the little bonus independent reading unit, where every 3rd day while we're working with Macbeth, we take a little break and work on independent novels. And these can be, I should say independent books, because these are truly independent choice. You can pick a nonfiction text, you could pick a novel that you're interested in, you could pick the next book in a series that you've been reading, and every 3rd day we'll work with these, and this culminates in an independent reading project. So it's just something nice we get to do in parallel to Macbeth, in case somebody is really, it does get kind of dry working with Shakespearean language day after day after day. So this breaks it up a little bit and allows a fun opportunity for choice. And then finally, at the end of the year, we do coming of age book clubs. And this is another opportunity. This is a great way to end. And I say the end of the year, this is a rather long unit towards the end of the year where we are able to start with a book club that your child picks they think are most interesting out of our list. And then we separate the class into clubs and they work through a coming of age book together that hopefully slants more towards what they're interested in, or a voice that they're interested in hearing. We try to make the list cover a lot of different perspectives. We're trying to add, I think, 2 more books to this list this year. We'll see if that winds up happening, but we do have this list of 7 available, and they'll read through that first coming of age novel in their book club. We'll switch up the book clubs, and then they'll get to read a second one before the year is over. And this is nice, where the entire class assessments are based on how these books are in conversation with each other, how these books fit into the coming of age genre, and how the protagonist in each of these specific novels is going through a lot of the same things that the protagonists from all the other novels are going through, just in their own unique perspective, in their own way. It's a fun way to end the year in that we give a little bit more freedom to the students for what they want to read, and hopefully that keeps a little bit more engagement up even when we get to June. And then just a quick note about how things will show up in Genesis for you. We do projects and essays that are 50 points or more. A lot of times for these, the rubrics are going to be available in Genesis if you want to see the specifics of how something was graded. And then our quizzes tend to be from 20 to 30 points. Classwork, very important that we do the work in class and that there's credit for it. Those are 10 points or less. And then homework assignments tend to be really small, little reading assignments that we'll check the next day, or finishing something that we worked on in class, and those usually are 5 to 10 points. And I believe that has covered all of it. We are really excited to get to do in-person discussions this year, to get to have our actual group work this year instead of breaking everyone into the little breakout rooms. It's really nice to be able to see your children in person.
Yes, definitely.
And hopefully one day we might be able to meet you in person, but otherwise, thank you for watching the video and getting to know us a little bit digitally.
Yes, thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you.